Welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually going to put a number of things together, and this is going to be the most exciting part that we've done so far, because we're going to take what we've learned. We've got reverb, we've got volume, we've got chorus. We're going to take those items and we're going to put it together and actually create a user set of our own making. So we're also going to learn a couple things about picking different types of accordions, and we'll talk about those as things go on. But don't miss this episode. This one will allow you to create your own user set. Now, we're not touching the bass, not touching the orchestral, just the treble side on the Roland FR-1x. This is going to be amazing, and I'm hoping that my microphone can pick up the quality difference. If not, really, you're going to hear the difference when you do it. So we're going to get started here, but please take a moment and click the subscribe button, and also give me a like. So, hit the thumbs up there. I've got the cameras now switched. Fingers are crossed that you're actually going to be able to follow this video and make the edits and get this all put together into your Roland FR-1x. And thumbs up for that if we can do that. But that's my goal for this. Okay, right now I'm sharing my screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with the Roland FR-1x user set. And I have a name there. If you haven't gotten the reference to the 42, I'm a old sci-fi fan. So we're going to create user set 042. You have this same folder if you've been following the videos. And this is the Java software that we got from Roland itself to edit the user sets. So when you double click on it, it's going to start up. So here's the program. This is the actual program. Now, when you first load the program, it has all the standard stuff in it. It's showing you what it has loaded by default. So these are all the default settings. So we're simply going to go in, and again, we are just dealing with the treble register. So what I'm going to do is take the bassoon. This is the 1A. And it's going to come up, and it's going to look like this. Now, there's a couple things that we can edit. But first, let's talk about this. The bassoon is the low reed. So you can see that here. Low reed, 3 middle reeds, and a high reed. And that's actually what's set in the master. But that's how you read these. And they're on the acoustic accordions. You'll see these. This is the low reed. And you can see over here which ones are on and off. So the only one on is the low reed, the 16-foot stop. Okay. We could do nothing. We could do all kinds of things. But one thing we can edit, this one you can turn it on and off. But over here, you can select different accordions. Now look at this. You can select all kinds of accordions. Okay, folk accordions, all the way down. Studio, Tex-Mex. Now you get into this one. And this just talk about this a little bit. If we wanted this Alpine, you would have had to have loaded the Alpine expansion kit. And I have videos on how to do that. But right now, we're not going to do that. We want to just work with the stock Roland items. So we're going to come up here. Now, again, this is to my ear. You might like something different. Again, it's all an art thing. It's what you like. And some people like Picasso, some people don't. My daughter is fantastic at art. The little 3D box behind me there is an art project she did. Okay? Me, I draw stick figures. That's as much art as I can do. Okay, so our daughter actually got the art talent from mom, not from dad. All right, anyway, getting back to this, you can pick a lot of different types of accordions. To me, the two that I like best are folk, and the one I actually like best is studio. So the iFolk and studio. What we're going to do is I'm going to kind of mix some of these in there, but for this, for the Bassoon Reed, I'm going to take a studio accordion, and then I'm going to turn the volume all the way up. I'm done with editing here. I can do some of these, and you can play with those if you like, but I'm done there. I'm going to come over here to the effects, and I'm actually going to reduce these a little bit. Okay, I'm going to actually take the reverb down, and since I have the volume all the way up, I'm going to take that down to 30. And I'm going to take the chorus also down to 30. And I'm done. Bassoon is now done. That read is done. Save. Operation saved. Great. Now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to take next. I'm going to do the next read. You'll see it's going to come up here. A Bandonian accordion. Okay, so you have the center middle reed and the low reed are on. Okay, so you have the 16-foot and the 8-foot. Okay, and we're going to do the same type of changes with that. Okay, so we're going to take studio accordion, because we're going to change the type of accordion that it sounds like, and studio passive. Where's it at? Where am I at? Studio. There it is. And so we're going to take the studio for both. Now, at this point, you don't need to see me doing this. You've seen how you do it. You take the mouse and you make the changes here. What I'm going to do is, and once it's done, you click save and you move on. We're actually going to go through this little slide presentation that has all of the settings for you. I did each one, created a PowerPoint so I can actually show you what they're like. It should save time from going through and sliding everything. So software starts. We're ready to edit. We're going to edit the bassoon. Okay. Well, you've already seen this one. Over here, it says bassoon. That's the reed. It's showing the reed configuration. And what we'd already done, this is the only one on. We changed to studio accordion and turned the volume all the way up. We then went into the effects, link, and MIDI, and we set reverb to 30 and 30. At that point, you click on save, and then you can go back to the reconfiguration, just like I did in a demonstration. Click next register, and you are then going to go to the next register. So you're now going to be in Bandonian. For the Bandonian, we have two reeds. Again, I like the studio a little better. I think it has a little richer sound, especially on the 1X. And for what I do with it, where I play most. You have to look at the venue that you're playing in and what you want to do with it. So like I said before, many times, this is an art form. Okay, but what we want to do here in the Bandonian is we're going to select studio. Again, 16 and 8 footer on the studio and studio. Crank the volume all the way up. Then go over to reverb. And again, for this one, I think we turn it down slightly. So we turn it down to 30 and 30. And, you know, please go ahead, feel free to pause the video so you can actually get these edits done. I don't want it to be a super long video. It's going to be long enough as it is. So just pause when you need to and make the edits. Okay, so now we're going to a cello. This is the third register. Okay, as you can see, it says, sorry, well, it's the third register, but it would be 1C on the 1X. Now that we have register 1C up, okay, it is a cello. We have 3 reeds, low and 2 middle. Okay, so we have the 16-foot, the 8-foot, and the 8+ on. The others are off. So we're going to actually leave the low reed at a volume of 10. So I'm going to take it up slightly. I'm going to take the 8-foot reed all the way up and the 8+ reed all the way up. Okay. So you can see I've done that. Also, you'll notice I'm only changing the accordions that have the reeds on. So everything else will be classic. Okay. Then go into the next one, which is this link, the effect link in MIDI. And we're going to, again, drop the reverb and chorus down to 30. When you've finished that one, go on to 1D. Okay. In this one, we have a high reed, middle reed, the center middle reed actually, and a low reed on. So for this one, we're going to change the low reed, put it, first we're going to change the accordions to studio, studio, and studio. And we're going to change the volume. That we're going to put that 16-foot stop all the way up, the 8-foot partially up, about halfway, and the the 4-foot reed, the high reed, all the way up. So those are the changes that we've made. Then we're going to the MIDI. In this case, I'm just going to leave it at the defaults. Didn't change that one at all. Go on to the next reed. Now this one's the master. So this one has all 5, 3 middle, the low, and the high reeds all going. In this case, again, I changed them to all studio. And, you know, like I said, art form, you might want to try the iFolk. I think that one is very good. Or you might go, you know what? I want to try whatever. Okay? And if you get the expansions, you might want to stick an Alpine in here. Okay, so you get, you know, some really nice sounds. The Alpine's very nice for traditional German polkas. But anyway, getting back to this is something you get to play with after you know how to do this. I changed all of them to studio, and I cranked all of the volumes up. Over here, I dropped the reverb and chorus. Going on to the next one. So 2B, an organ sound. You've got the high and the low. Now in this one, I wanted to do this just to kind of show you the iFolk accordion. So we've got the iFolk. I changed that for the 16 and the 4-foot stop, and I turned the volumes all the way up on those. The MIDI on those, I cut those down to 230. And again, your call. 2C. Now you know why I'm doing this instead of going through and actually doing it. It takes a good while. The accordion, on that reed, I'm using the iFolk again, and we have 4 high, low, and 2 of the middle reeds. So what I've done here, you can see I've turned the 16-foot up halfway, the 8-foot all the way, the 8 plus all the way, and the 4-foot stop halfway. So I'm trying to get more volume coming out of those middle reeds than the high and the low. For the reverb and chorus, on this one, I turned the reverb down to 30 and I left the chorus at 40. For this next set, this is 2D now. Again, 3 reeds. This is a violin, 3 reeds. So we've got the 16-foot, sorry, we've got the 8-foot, the 8-foot center, the 8-foot plus, and the 4-foot. I went back to the studio accordions and I turned all the volumes up here. Reverb, I left at 40. For the chorus, I cut down to 20 on that one. All right, clarinet is the center middle reed. The middle reeds are really clarinet reeds. So that's the middle center reed. So that's the 8-foot reed. I went to the iFolk accordion and I turned the volume all the way up. The reverb and chorus, I let it 40. 3B. These are all 3 middle reeds. So this is as much musette as you are going to get. Now, if you wanted even more musette, you could change the detune down here, but I left that the same. I went with the studio accordion, volumes up, effects down to 30 for both of those. 3C, Celeste. Okay, I took studio accordion again, volume up, effects down to 30. 3D, a tremolo. The tremolo are the two out of tune middle reeds, because the center is the frequency. The other 2 are tuned off very slightly, and that gives you that wavy type sound that a lot of people love, especially if you're playing some kind of French thing. We've got the 2 reeds. I took those and I turned those up just slightly. They're not half, they're a little more than halfway to full volume. And I let the reverb and chorus at 40, the standard. For Musette, now 4A really isn't Musette, but you see that it's written here. When you come into this one, it's going to say piccolo. I don't like a piccolo sound. Okay, it's too high frequency. So that one would be the high reed only, the 4-foot stop reed only. So if you like that one, you're going to turn that one on. I've turned it off. I've changed the name, and all you do is click in here, delete this, type in what you want. I put another Musette in. In this case, I'm doing, again, the studio accordion, and I actually am coming down. So I've got the middle reed at 30, okay, the negative side, so it would be this reed at 20 and this reed at 10. So I just put that on just so to show you. That's going to be 4A. We'll see what that sounds like. Reverb, I put those both at 35. Oboe is the high and center middle reed. Again, I kept studio accordion, turned the volume all the way up on the 8-foot reed, and here on the 4-foot reed, I only went up to 15. It max is 40. standard is like 0. So I actually only turned it up slightly. Left the reverb and chorus as is. Now, that's going to finish that edit. So once you've done editing it, you will come down and you will click on Save. When you click on Save, it's then going to take you and say, okay, great, you're done. And it's going to get you out of that. Now, I'm going to be back after okay, now that we're back, this is actually the live program now. You have everything in there. So if you followed the directions, this 4A is going to say Musette, not piccolo. But if you like the piccolo, you could have left the piccolo or done whatever you wanted there. But these are our edits. So for example, 4A, you'll see 4A I have actually changed to what I've told you. All right, so once you have the edits, you've saved them. Okay, so we're here, blah, 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 just so you can say. So we make the changes, you click save. You're now back here. We actually have to now create the set. So I'm going to create this set. Okay. You have to pick a name. Okay. I'm going to come in. I already have some in here, but I'm going to call this one 042 and save set. The operation is complete. That is now saved on there, and we're going to copy it onto a flash drive, copy it onto a USB drive, put it into our Roland, and we'll load the user set into the accordion. We have the accordion set, and the camera now is looking, so you're going to be able to see the screen, what's going to be on the screen, along with which buttons I'm going to, or which switches I'm going to actually press. Now, you need your flash drive. This is ancient flash drive of mine, but it still works, and it works well in here. So this is what I'm using. I just use it to transfer data. So I'm taking the flash drive and I'm putting it in the USB memory slot. Now, really, I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. Don't put the flash drive in when the accordion is on. When the accordion, leave the accordion off, put the flash drive in, then turn it on. There's much less chance of you damaging the flash drive, and more importantly, damaging the accordion if you do it that way. At this point, we've got the standard turn on. Okay, we need to get into the parameters because we need to we need to save this user set. So to get there, you hold the set button and it's going to change on screen. You saw that it changed. We're pressing register 4 to go down, and it's pretty far down. All right, it's coming up here soon. Oops, UST, there it is. That's the user set. Now, what you do then is you press register 1 or 2. So if you press 1, it's going to go 0, 1, and that's the only one it has. It's looking for which ones we have. Now, on this particular flash drive, I have 3 different user sets. User 1, user 2, and the one that we actually just created, 042. So that is the user set I want. I press the enter program, and now it's asking me which memory location do I want? Which user set do I want? Do I want 1, 2, 3, or 4? We're just going to put it in user set 1. It's just going to be easier to find right away. So we'll just put it in U1. Hit enter. That's the user program / enter switch. It's saying loading. It's saying done. That set is now in the accordion. So at this point, you could actually start playing it, but I can't really play it with it sitting like this. So I'm actually going to turn it off, put the flash drive away because I'm done with that. And again, it's better to take it out with the accordion off. So I'm going to remove the flash drive, change the camera again, and we're going to see what this sounds like. Coming on, it's now the standard set. And for this demo, I'm going to put the orchestra bass on because I happen to like those better. And this is set 1-1, the concerto, which is actually what we edited. I don't know if you noticed that up on the top, but that's what is standard load on those. And so this is just, you know, the standard accordion. Right now it's in the master, which is 2A. And that's what the master sounds like. So and you know, you can play. If you wanted a Musette, that's 3B. And you know, that's how it comes out of the factory. Now let's take a look at what we've done. So you hit the set switch, and then you are able to select. We put it in U1. So set U1. We are now in U1. So let's go back because it started off in the master. So this is now the master. Doesn't sound too bad. You know, so, you know, if you wanted to do, for example, same thing. So that's the master. I'm hoping the microphone is actually allowing you to hear that because it is so much better here in person than the startup. Let's do that Musette. Oh. All right, let's go back. I'm going to put it back to 1-1. We're now in 1-1, and it's still in that Musette. Put it back to U1. There's a good bit of difference there. If we go back to sorry, not U1. If we go back to 1-1, let's listen to the piccolo. Okay. Yeah, that is just such a high pitch. I can't really hear it. If you remember, we changed that to a Musette. So let's see what ours sounds like. So I like that sound a whole lot better, and I like the Musette. You know, it's very nice for a lot of songs. You know, I'm not going to waste your time going through all of these. That's now our bassoon versus and there's a lot of things that you can change when you're dealing with those. But anyway, this video has gotten a lot longer than I wanted, but hopefully just following along with it, you can actually make the edits, and enjoy the accordion more. Just play for the sounds that you are looking for, that you would like. They're just kind of amazing what you can do, even with the 1X. It's a wonderful little accordion. And just another little side note, this guy's only 14 pounds. And if you've been following my video series, I had back surgery. I wasn't able to play my larger accordions. I have a Roland 8X. I have an Octavinelli full size. I couldn't play those, but this guy I could play because I could actually lift the 14 pounds. The FR-8X is 30 pounds. If you've got a problem like back surgery, I mean, I had major back surgery. It was a long time before I could lift anything. But this guy made it. So, a 14-pound accordion that has this capabilities is really an amazing thing. So anyway, please like and subscribe if you haven't. And, the thumbs up is always a good thing. And hopefully you enjoyed it. So keep playing and have fun. I will see you next time.